Barton FM, following Barton Town. Sport on Barton FM is sponsored by Easy Buy.
Welcome to Swans Talk with me, Richard Watts. We now join Trevor Richins, who's talking to Nathan Jarman.
So once again it's a training session for Barton Town, but today's Tuesday, but we have stuff at Basic Arts School. So yes, the team do train twice a week, plus they have games. Obviously Tuesday is the day we'd normally play home games during midweek, so if no game, they're down here training. So we have a word with Nathan about last game we had, which was Yorkshire Amateur, and the forthcoming game, local derby against Winterton Rangers. Good evening, Nathan.
Evening, Trev. All right, mate?
I'm fine. And yourself?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Good. How'd you think of the game on Saturday? You left it to the last minute to grab the winning goal.
Yeah, it was much what we expected. They were always going to be tough to break down. And I mean, after 30 seconds, I screenshotted the VO Sunday morning when I was watching it, doing the video analysis, and they had a back five across the 18-yard box. They had four across 10 yards in front, and then they had the striker just behind the D of the centre circle. And I was like, we knew right from that moment, 30 seconds in, it was going to be tough to break them down. But thankfully we did. We kept knocking on the door, and and eventually they succumbed, and we managed to get the goal.
Right, goal down to Ben.
Yep.
Potentially, but
yep.
Assisted by yourself.
Yeah.
Was it a close call?
It was it was close, but I'm happy for Ben to get the goal and the the credit that comes with it. And it was a milestone goal for him and a milestone appearance.
Was it 100th goal?
50th goal in his
100th
game. Yeah, that was it. So delighted for him, and hopefully that gives him a springboard to kick on now and get some more goals in the next few games, because they're all big games now.
Yeah, you mentioned the VO camera.
Yep.
For which we're starting to take it to away games now as well as home games.
Yep.
Do you use that a lot then to analyse games?
Yes, every morning straight after the game, as soon as it's available to me, I'm on it and watching it and sending clips and pictures and stuff. So yeah, it's a really useful tool, and we're very grateful for it.
Right. So do you also watch other teams' VO cameras online, YouTube, etc.?
Well, only when we can. It's not like we have there's a base or a central port where everyone can go and look at different VOs. Right. Only what highlights they put on.
Right.
But yeah, we do look and we do check, and we know what, much like other teams will know what we're doing, and from corners and set pieces and stuff, we do try and keep ahead of information. Yeah.
So this weekend, Winterton Rangers.
Yep.
Local derby, if ever there was one.
Yeah.
And obviously they're also challenging for promotion, the same as Barton Town.
Yeah, I mean, they was up there last year as well. They had a real good go last year. We know what they're all about. We know how good they are, how strong they are, how much experience they've got, and it's just if we can turn up and play our usual game and get into them and stop them playing as quickly as they like to, because they break quick and they break off Josh. And Josh's brother Dan's, one of the top scorers in the league, so he'll be one to watch as well.
Right.
So yeah, we do know what they're about, and they've got some new young lads. They've got a lad Wilf, centre midfield, who's good. Really like the look of him, and Sam Ainsley, right back, who sometimes plays left back. Really good player, and then obviously they've got their experience with Grimesy, and both Ridleys, Steve and Lee. So we
an experienced squad.
Yeah, they're a good team, and we know they are, and it'll be a tough match. But it's one that we're relishing and really looking forward to.
Okay, well, I'm sure you want to get back to training.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
Cheers, Trev.
For the latest Barton Town news and information, visit the club's website at www.bartontownfc.co.uk.
I'm John Barron Walton, and we've got a win on Saturday at Yorkshire Amateur to look back on. It took a long time coming, but they finally got the just desserts and 3 points.
Yeah, I think it was what we call an industrious, diligent performance, Richard, if we use the words, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
I thought Yorkshire Amateurs, although they're at the bottom of the league, they did look threatening on the break, didn't they? They just couldn't finish.
Yeah, they did, yeah. No doubt they'll be a much better side when they get a bit more experience in the second half of the season, I think.
Absolutely. I mean, they look nice on the ball. They look fast. They've got some raw talent there. But I think Barton piled on the pressure, and you could see the screw being tightened, couldn't you, in the first half? And then you could see the screw being tightened even more in the second half. And finally, Yorkshire Amateurs' resilience snapped, didn't they? And it was a Jarman header across, which we thought had gone in. But Ben Hinchcliffe, as all good goal poachers do, he poached it, didn't he?
He did. And I mean, fair play to him. 50 goals in 100 games, that's one every two. That's pretty good going in anybody's book, isn't it?
It is, considering sometimes he very rarely gets any chances. And we forget, I think sometimes as a goal scorer, you just think, well, he hasn't scored. Oh, he's no good. However, if you enjoy your football and you watch how much work Ben does in a match, closing down, chasing, making space, it's unbelievable. That the amount of miles or kilometres that lad runs in a game, like all of them, it's phenomenal. And just because he's not scoring, it doesn't mean to say he's not an integral part of the team. And I think Nathan Jarman always says, it doesn't matter if he's not scoring, he plays for me. He does all that running back and closing down, doesn't he?
Yeah, and speaking of Nathan Jarman himself, I mean, what a difference he made. I'm just thinking back. He had a header that just went wide of the post. He had another shot that was going in that hit Jack Tanser, and he gets the header that creates the winning goal. He's only on 10 minutes. He just got over the line, didn't he?
You just look, the Yorkshire Amateurs just could not get the ball off him.
Yeah.
Could they? Shielding the ball, they couldn't get around him to get it. And that shot he had, I mean, poor old Jack couldn't get out of the way.
No, he got no chance of getting out of the way of that. No.
He certainly didn't. I'm pleased he has actually stood up and he didn't get knocked out, because it was a hell of a shot.
Yeah.
So a good victory, a hard-fought victory. However, our arch enemy or our nemesis, North Ferriby United, scraped a 1-0 win at Frickley, didn't they? Was it an 86-minute goal?
And it sounds a bit controversial. I haven't seen any footage of it, but Frickley didn't sound very happy about a foul in the build-up or something like that.
Right. Yeah, well, they do tend to get away with quite a bit, Ferriby, but that's just the way it is. I think it's going to be a very, very hard-fought season. And, looking down the league, there's, you still got teams in contention all the way down to 10th and 11th, haven't you?
Yeah.
So, but as we say every week, this is a tough league. This one, there's not much between. Having said that, not between each team. Having said that, I've been speaking to a few people when I go to matches, and people who generally and regularly watch NCL Prem say Barton and Ferriby are the best two teams at the moment in the league. So that's nice to hear.
It is, yeah.
From sort of people who aren't connected with the club, that's really nice to hear. But it puts pressure on us, doesn't it? On Barton, It does put pressure on you. So on to Saturday's game then, Richard, and we've got another Lincolnshire derby.
Yeah, against a side who were extremely good last season, weren't they? I mean, they certainly turned us over, didn't they, at the easy bye at the end of last season? And I was surprised that they didn't get second place in the end.
Yeah, I think they just fell off a little bit towards the end, didn't they? Probably Winton and Grimsby Borough, in my opinion, and it's only my opinion, were the only two teams that outplayed the Swans at the easy bye all season.
Yeah.
I'm discounting Eccleshill because that was early on when Nathan was just trying to sort his team out. So I think Grimsby Borough, I think Winton seemed to get the tactics right on the night, didn't they? Because I can't think of it. I know you mentioned it. I can't think of a game where Tom Warby didn't win a header.
Yeah, that's right.
And he didn't win a header on that game, if my memory serves me correctly. So they certainly, Mr. Helliwell got his tactics right. And if we look at Winton, like the Swans, they've got a small squad, but they managed to hold on to most of. I've had a look. They managed to hold on to most of last season's team. They've introduced some new blood, such as they've got a lad called Wilfred Peel Evans, sounds a bit like the referee on Saturday,
It
doesn't
does,
it?
yeah.
Good old Alfred. Now, Wilfred Peel Evans was a Reading under 23 and Rotherham under 18 player, so it comes with a bit of pedigree. And they've also got some young talent in Ellis Short and Henry Curtis. I'm not too sure where they're from. However, the Swans faithful will remember and know names like Nathan Popple, Jack Varley, Luke Anderson. They'll know all of those three players who are still at Winton in an integral part. I know Pox is a good keeper. Jack Varley's always busy, and Luke Anderson. Although sometimes his substitute, he comes on and he looks quite handy. You've got Paul Grimes, the veteran in midfield, pulling the strings, the puppeteer. And of course, you've got the Wrigleys, Lee and Stephen, football's answer to Count Bartelli and Thibaut Zakash, the wrestling double act tag team. So I think there's quite a lot of experience with Lee and Stephen, haven't there? So they've got a good squad. And again, we haven't even mentioned Josh and Dan Walker.
Yeah.
So, two sets of brothers in the team. That's an unusual one, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
You've got Lee and Stephen Ridley, and you've got Josh and Dan Walker. Now, Dan has got more goals than Josh this season. So Dan's got 8, and Josh has got 6. So both difficult to play against. I know Josh Walker's a real handful to play against.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
So it's got the makings of a really, really good derby. Hopefully. And I think it'll be a fantastic measure to see how far Barton's come from that defeat at home last season.
That's right.
Measuring yourself up against teams that, beat you last season are still in it. Obviously, Mansfield aren't in the same league, and Grimsby Borough aren't, but we've got teams like Eccleshill, which we've beaten, and you've got Winton, which beat us. So now, if we look at the stats, Richard, I know you like a good stat.
Yeah.
I've just run these off. Crowds were 5th in the league for crowds at the moment, Barton Town. Up 20%, which the chairman will love, which is good. We've got about 263 average gates. So all the Swans fans out there, if you fancy coming down and being thoroughly entertained, get yourself down, because we could do with the support. Always do with more. Winton are 12th. 156 average. They're down 10%. So very disappointed for the guys that run Winton, because they're all good guys, put a lot of hard work in. So the good people at Winton can get down and support your team.
Yeah, winning side as well. It's if you can't go and watch a winning side.
Yeah, I know people are fickle, aren't they? I know money's tight. You're not going to be entertained all afternoon for much less than a fiver, 6 quid. It's well worth it. Get yourself down to non-league football. A lot of people will poo-poo it and they're a bit snobbery about it. Well, I'm not going to watch that. It's park football. Far, far from it. It ain't park football. It's not like it.
Good players. There's some good players at that level.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. And I think most people who come down for the first time and watch it, unless it's a really dire game, because you get dire professional games, so you get them into it. I mean, we've seen some crackers this season, haven't we, Richard? I mean, the game against Hallam. What an advert. What a brilliant game. Both teams, skillful football, chances, saves, shots, good tackles, etc., really good. So, and I think anybody who comes down who's not seen this level of football before, they've got to go away impressed for £5 or £6, and you can get your food as well. Your food's really, really nice and it's cheap. I mean, you could be fed, watered, and watched football for about a tenner.
Yeah.
And then at a professional game, you're talking 20, 30, 40 quid. So, it's value for money. It really is. Yeah, anyway, getting back to stats, Winton in attack are the second best in the league, where Barton are the 12th, which is a surprise. But Winton have got 18 goals and Barton have got 13 goals. Well, this is the interesting one, Richard. we've flipped it right round on defence. Barton Town have obviously got the best defence in the league, with only conceding 4 goals, and Winton at 13th. So we've got the best defence playing their best attack on Saturday. Really,
That'd be interesting. Yeah.
Won't it just?
Yeah.
Sorry, Richard.
I hope everybody's fit. There's no
Well, yeah, I mean, let's hope Trevor don't put a jinx on it when interviewing people. But yeah, I'm sure there will be. We've had 7 clean sheets as well, Barton Town. So Charlie's again and the defence there are sleeping in clean sheets once again. Dunelms will be doing a big bit of roaring trade there with clean sheets, won't they, Richard?
Certainly will. Yeah.
7. That's brilliant. Winton have only had 1 clean sheet as well, so everything's looking to make a really good derby. So let's hope the players play their part in that. I don't want to hype it up too much, but we do want a big crowd down at the Easy Buy.
Yeah, you would hope you could. You would hope you can go over 300, wouldn't you?
I would hope so. I know Winton haven't been getting many, but it's not far for them to travel. So yeah, it'd be nice to get over 300 again. It really would be. And looking into the future, I see we've been drawn in the FA Vars home to Cheadle Town. Do you know much about Cheadle Town?
Not a thing.
Not a thing.
Not a thing.
Neither
I presume they're in the northwest counties. I don't even know if they're in the first division or the Premier Division.
I think they're in the first division, Richard, so it's winnable.
Yeah.
Cheadle Town, yeah. They're the only thing I know is they're playing red and white stripes. And we've got them at home on the 22nd, which is a little bit of a shame in one respect because we had Ferriby, didn't we? We were going to play Ferriby.
Oh, of course, yeah. That's going to be a midweek game then.
I think it's not the first Tuesday in November.
Right.
So the Ferriby will be grumbling about that, having to change it. So that will be a classic under the lights.
You would have wanted to. You would have preferred it to have been on a Saturday, though. I mean,
definitely, because I think you'd have got more people down.
Yeah.
Having said that, the good people of Barton, the Swan Army, do like a night match, don't they?
Yeah.
We've had some good crowds under the lights, and it's just that special atmosphere that under the lights brings. It really does. It really is good. I don't know what I prefer, either a night match or a Saturday match. I think I do like a night match, but I like a night match at home, not having to go away, to the likes of Penistone or Silsden and those types of ground. It's a little bit. I mean, Hallam was a long way, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. I mean, I always think night matches are sort of levelers, aren't they? Because you don't who's had the hardest day at work, sort of thing. At least on a Saturday, hopefully people have had the time off and they're fresh.
Yeah.
But I was thinking Tuesday you can get a lot of strange results because of that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Handsworth are the strangest team in the league. I think they can win 6-0 one day and then go and lose 5-0 the next match. Yeah. They're a very strange team, Handsworth. So they must have a lot of people who work very hard, up and down. So hey ho. But
just going back to your stats and the attendances, who was above Barton in the attendances? I presume one would be Ferriby, 2 Hallam maybe.
Right, Ferriby, Hallam, Penistone.
Penistone.
Right. Penistone, yeah, and I think it's Emily. I think Emily.
Emily, gosh, right.
Just, I think. Don't quote me on Emily, but I think it's either Emily or Golka.
Right.
Barton the 5th, but there's not much.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Ferriby and Hallam are at like 100, 200 in front of most of us, but Penistone, Emily, and ourselves are all quite close. So. But we always would like more to come down to the Easy Buy and enjoy the football. I mean, as I say, it's good food down there, good beer, you get good atmosphere. It's really good. Get yourselves down. You'll enjoy it on a Saturday. Although last Saturday, this last home game, we lost, didn't we? But it was one of those funny ones, wasn't it, against Brickley, where it could have easily been 4-1-2 Barton, really, couldn't it?
I wasn't there.
You wasn't there, of course you wasn't. Yes, you did. You did have a you got chastised from the manager for not being there because
I did.
you're not there, we lose. Didn't he? He said it was all your fault.
He did, yeah.
So yeah, please don't miss any more games.
For the latest Barton Town news and information, visit the club's website at www.bartontownfc.co.uk.
That's it for this edition of Swans Talk. Thanks for listening.